How to install an integrated tail light on a Kawasaki Ninja 300. First and foremost, take the back seat cover off. There is a keyhole about right here. Take that off. They're going to take off the side panels. There's one bolt with 3 clip type deals, push-in deals. There's a technical name for it, I just don't remember. You pull it straight out this way. Then there's 2 bolts that hold the seat down. So we're going to do that. I've already taken one side off. Once you've taken that off, there are 2 8mm bolts, one here and one on the other side. Those have to come off. Now there are 4 little push pin thingies, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Basically all you have to do is take anything sharp, screwdriver or your Allen tool, and push down the centers of them. You don't have to push it all the way through, just until it snaps, and then you pull it out. So a lot of people don't know how to use these correctly. So basically when you insert them with the pin up, and then once they go in, you snap them in. To release them, you push it further until it goes down. A lot of people push them all the way through. It doesn't need to go all the way through. Just push it to where it's down. 2 bolts, 1, 2. This whole piece comes off. $10mm. That comes out. I've already been in here before today, so these aren't really set up the way they're supposed to be. But this is your tail light and blinkers. Push down a little tab, pull that apart. Push down on that tab. Pull that out. Push down on that tab. Pull that out. Route the wires. Don't yank the plugs off. That sucks. And this is why you don't use electrical tape. See that? It's pulled right off. You don't use electrical tape. If you're going to do anything, you solder it. Solder and shrink tube. Look at that, it just came right off. Came right off. You know, that's going to cause a grounding issue later on down the road. Solder. Solder. If you don't know how to solder, learn how to solder. Solder. Shrink tube. Don't do stupid lighting crap unless you solder. This is what you call solder. This is a soldering iron. It's not the best soldering iron. It's like $1 or something like that. Maybe $1.99, I don't know. It was dirt cheap, but it works. This is what you call shrink tube. Heat shrink. Okay. Okay, I'm looking inside the tail now, and there are a couple of bolts with nuts on them. We don't mess with those. We're only going to take off the Phillips head ones. And there's a bracket here, which I'll show you in a minute. The only ones we're going to take off are this one and that one. They're kind of hard to get to, but it's going to take our whole tail piece out. We're going to do that first. Having one of these little tool sets is a lifesaver in situations like this, because you can get into the spaces a little bit easier. It's got a ratchet on it. Makes things a lot easier. Once you remove those 2 screws, the whole piece should come out. Okay, so that's the old one. And here are the LEDs and shit, so just gotta figure that out on the new one. Alright, we got black, yellow, and blue. Here we have red, blue, and black, yellow. And then there's these 3 other ones. These are for the turn signals, left and right, which you know, are not color coded. Then you have what I assume is a ground. There are no instructions with this, so you don't really know. Okay, so we can use deductive reasoning at this point. Red is this one here, blue is the middle one, black and yellow is the far right, if this is oriented to the top. So orient the plugs the same direction. Alright, blue is red, yellow is blue, and black is black and yellow. So if we have wires here going to black and yellow and blue, what we can do is take these ones apart, take these ones off of the black and yellow. Alright, hold those aside. Black and yellow is black, so we're going to have to cut the black wire on this one somewhere and then solder that. Just for the record, I don't recommend cutting all these wires and splicing stuff, but the only reason I'm doing it is because he already has the LEDs underneath there, and he expressed that he wished to maintain them, so I'm going to have to make it work. I don't know if you remember this thing. It's called a soldering iron, and we're going to use it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves whenever I have a motorcycle come in and I have to work on it, and it's got wires and shit, you know, in a rat's nest. They're all coming apart. You know, they cut into weird stuff that they're not supposed to cut into. Cut into ignition wires. You know, make the harness just absolute crap. And then they come to me with a wiring issue. It's like, well, I have some sort of electric issue. I can't figure out why. The bike's not running right. And it's probably because you made Swiss cheese out of your fucking wiring harness. Eventually, when you have man hands like me, you can do shit like this. It doesn't hurt. Okay, one down. Alright, so I unplugged the other one, which allowed me to remove the entire old taillight assembly. And remember, we're soldering the other side of the other LEDs to the blue wire, which is the middle wire. Middle wire, no matter how you look at it, because the middle is always the middle. Just like Bob spelled backwards is Bob. So we got the middle wire here, which is the yellow one. So we're going to chop the yellow wire and prep it and do all that same crap that we did to the other side. Okay, I went ahead and put the new lens on. You've already seen how to take it off, therefore you know how to put it back on. Plugged everything back in. Light works. I'll demonstrate that at the end of the video. I guess actually that probably could be the end of the video. Everything else is self-explanatory. You know how to do everything else. Now I got to put these LEDs on the bike and on the side. So anyway, yeah, subscribe, watch my other videos, all that stuff.